أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله ما بعد. Dear friends, brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we're going to discuss about India's one of the illegal policy. August 5th marks the third anniversary of the 2019 abrogation of 75 years old constitutional provisions. Article 370 we know that, which guaranteed limited autonomy to Jammu and Kashmir, the only Muslim majority state in India and home to more than 12 million Muslims. Today, we're going to invite our guest, Latheef Farook, to elaborate more on this subject. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Today, we're going to discuss in our inside story one of the important message and about Kashmir. And when it comes to Kashmir, what is the message ordinary people should understand Kashmir issue? How they should understand the Kashmir issue?
Actually, ordinary people should know that Kashmir is an entirely separate, different entity, and that was illegally annexed by India 3 years ago. Although this very same Indian government, the India has given assurance in the Constitution, in the Article 370 of the Indian Constitution, that will be a separate entity, except finance, defense, and foreign affairs. Rest. Kashmiris can manage themselves, and Kashmir will be a separate entity. No Indian, not only for foreigners, no Indian will be allowed to settle down there, buy land there, settle down there, and even seek job there. So they were given some special privileges. And to understand the Article 370, we need to slightly understand the history of Kashmir. Kashmir is in about 86,000 square miles. It's a very beautiful area located, surrounded by India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and China. These are the four countries bordering Kashmir. And the usually farmers, very peace-loving people. Never in the history of Kashmir, the written history of Kashmir, they never waged war. They are farmers, peaceful life. And 1422, Kashmir was brought under Mughal Empire. And the ruler at that time was Zainal Abidin. And he ruled from 1422 to 1474. This 50-year period is regarded as the golden period in the history of Kashmir. So this life was going on, they were very peaceful. And it was brought under British Empire from the Mughal, once the Mughal Empire was defeated, after Mughal Empire was defeated, it was brought under British Empire, which is expanding its empire in the whole area. In 1846, what the British did, they sold the entire Kashmir, like selling an estate, for 750,000 sterling pounds to Hindu warlord Raja Gulab Singh, 1846. He is a Hindu and 100% Kashmir Muslim. And see with the British treachery, as they did in Palestine, as they did in other areas, and they sold the entire Muslim region of Kashmir to Hindu warlord. And the Hindu warlord, actually, he committed so much atrocities on Kashmiris. Even if you beat a cow, death sentence. That is the type of heavily taxed, torture, very bad torture. And they suffered a lot, though the Kashmiris. And this continued. They were fighting, and the atrocities were so much that the Bengali Prime Minister resigned and left away. But he just couldn't put up with these atrocities. That was the type of suffering Kashmiris were undergoing. Then during the British time, independence came in 1947, and during the 47, this independent India had to be partitioned because there is racism, communism, racism, and because of the Indian political. They in Jinnah found it's impossible to live together with the Hindu leaders. They say one thing, always telling lies, deception, that kind of, and fight. In 1947, when this was divided, it is deception. Deception, forcefully, Maharaja acceded Kashmir to India. But this is Hindu Maharaja, is surrendering silly Muslim Kashmir to Indian government. He can't do that yet. So the Kashmiris once again protested. They protested. And then you see Nehru gave an assurance to Liaquat Ali Khan. And this was telecast in the Indian radio, no television and the radio, and put out in the news bulletins and all, that once things settle down, peace and order is restored, that they will have plebiscite to ask the Kashmiris whether they would like to go independent, whether they like to continue to be with India, or join Pakistan, or to go alone. So this assurance, promise was given in writing as well as this thing. So Kashmiris after that, they were okay, and all people were fighting. Then you see after that, India was not doing anything to hold the plebiscite. Even if they want to hold, they say, do this, they lay down conditions. So it came to a stage where things were very, very difficult. Indians were making, Nehru, despite the promises, was making things very difficult for Kashmiris. So for the first time, it was India itself, Krishna Ramaswamy Iyengar, he is the one that took up the issue in United Nations. In the United Nations, commission after commission, committee after committee, representative after representative, they said United Nations itself got tired. And all those people, very top, eminent scientists, scholars, politicians, dispatched by United Nations to India to hold the plebiscite, they got fed up. Both the Indians, they say one thing, they do one thing. They say one thing, they're dragging on, they are not holding the plebiscite. Kashmir is also fed up. In the meantime, they arrested and locked up Sheikh Abdullah, Kashmiri Muslim political leader. They locked up. And he was also the last time after he was released from the prison, he said, okay, we'll try to live with Pakistan, India. But it was at that time, Article 370 was inserted in the constitution. And Nehru, addressing the parliament, also said, yes, we will hold a plebiscite. That plebiscite was never done. So 3 wars took place between Pakistan and India, wasting both countries' energies, resources, and death to innocent people. This continues like this. It was that time, this situation, India was never honest and sincere in finding a solution to this Kashmir issue. They all want to some or other drag the issue and change the ground realities so that they become India, automatically Kashmir become part of India. This Pakistan continued to oppose. It was in this situation that Modi government came to power about 8 years ago. Modi government, second time when they came to power, and Modi government is a racist government, anti-Muslim government. Their RSS ideologies remove the entire Muslim community, about 250 million or so. And you see, whatever the Mughal Empire is part and parcel of Indian history. Mughal contribution is remarkable. Nobody can deny that, is it? And this RSS and BJP, they want to create a separate. It was that time, second time when he was elected, Modi passed this resolution expecting the international political situation which was in favor of Soviet Union collapsed. And then United Nations superpower, Muslims at that time were sleeping. They were not very interested. They were not very active. So Pakistan was all alone. And in India now they become a nuclear power, although Pakistan. So in this hour of glory, he passed this 370 in 2019, August 1. But this is the beginning of another chapter, and now the atrocities unleashed in Kashmir, daily death, daily routine life you can't hold, and also they are bringing outsiders in violation of the 370 Act. They passed the 335A amendment, and they are bringing Pandits, Kashmir Pandits from here and there, and Indians from other nations come to there. What is happening now is,
I would like to ask this way: what is the background of Article 370 and the 35A?
What?
Article 35A and Article 370 and 35A. What is the background?
370 gives special rights and privileges to Kashmiris. Kashmiris mean only Kashmiris, they can hold land. Only Kashmir will be able to do jobs, government jobs in Kashmir like this year.
Yeah,
And then,
5th of August 2019, India changed this article.
yeah,
And yeah, and after,
after that, after it was changed, they were bringing out Indians from other states. Other Indians say they can bring here. They're settling them here and giving all the facilities. And also, in the past, in under the Article 17, no Indian from other states were allowed to come. But
yeah,
now they are bringing them, creating colonies. These colonies, what has happened is, during the past, I would say about 30 to 40 years, India and Israel, they have established close ties, military ties, and communication ties. And in every respect, they developed ties. And Arabs are not interested. Arabs are living only interested. So when this they established, they thought time is right, annex it. So they annexed it. People are resisting. So after now, see, for the past 3 years, the atrocities unleashed by India on Kashmir is unbelievable.
okay. My question is coming this way. And the
Yeah,
commitments of Mr. Nehru
yeah.
to Mr. Liaquat Ali Khan, or it was to the United Nations. And United Nation is still alive. And what is the United Nation doing after this Article 370 abolition in 2019? Did United Nation involved in any discussion with India or anything else happen?
After 370 was abolished, no.
Yes.
No concrete measure was taken by the United Nations. United Nations actually has lost control of itself during the past 25 to 30, 40 years here. It's just, it's a tool in the hands of America, China. Now China, for example, now I leave it there. China, Russia, they're like this, they were doing it. So that's me. So they have not done any substantial, taken any concrete step to help the Kashmirs. So that's what I say, international, the political situation is in favor of India, is in
Okay.
favor of Modi.
As a
Now, yeah,
neighboring country, Pakistan always supporting Kashmiri issue. Yes. And after this 370 and 335A abolition, what Pakistan took action? Did Pakistan take any action?
Pakistan has taken up this issue in every possible forum, United Nations, regional forums, and OIC. OIC, of course, is a dead letter now. OIC is not functioning properly. The OIC they took up. So they were doing their best to hold the plebiscite, which has promised to the people, and give a chance to the people to decide their destiny, whether to continue with India, whether to join Pakistan, or remain independent. So that's what India, Pakistan demanding. Pakistan is quite vigorous, but also Pakistan can't go for a military showdown now, because both Pakistan and India are nuclear powers.
And
Earlier, there were three wars on Kashmir alone between the two countries. So now, Pakistan is actually Azad Kashmir is also part of Kashmir. That part went to Pakistan. Yeah,
yeah, this is one of the question coming to me.
I can't
Comparison,
hear. Well,
yeah,
I can't
Azad,
hear you.
Azad
Yeah.
Kashmir and Indian illegal occupied Jammu Kashmir. Okay, this 370 article is he affecting both area?
No.
Kashmir or and
Azad Kashmir, they joined Pakistan. They're
okay,
going ahead with Pakistan. They have
okay,
no problem. There's no suppression. No problem. They have become part and parcel of Pakistan. The problem you see here, India is not allowing Pakistan, Kashmir is Indian occupied Jammu Kashmir to raise the head. Suppression, brutalization, rape, Muslim woman is raped, hundreds of thousands of women are raped, they become pregnant, they can't talk, and they commit suicide. And you see, men are killed, men are tortured. So actually, India has not treated the Kashmir uh, properly or in a decent way. So the Kashmir to be with India. So the atrocities there, even today, they committed. In 1987, in an interview given to a London paper, Rajiv Gandhi said, former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi said, that taking into consideration the atrocities committed by India, that is 40 years ago, 1987, the atrocities committed by India has made the people of Kashmir to fight for their rights and leave the Indian government. So this atrocities continues uninterrupted. Now, you see arresting people, torturing people, raping people, women, and How do they live here under this as suppression everywhere? So this is what the more you suppress, more the people are coming out revolting. So coming out revolt. So this is a battlefield right
Yeah.
now. Continuing.
As you mentioned, Indian, they don't respect the human rights and they violate all the human rights. And what is the background after this Article 370 and 35A, the violation of human rights in Kashmir?
Violation of human rights. Even yesterday, that human rights organization, one of the organization, United Nations, they made a issued a statement. They are actually, first of all, human beings should be treated like human beings. And now, in the eyes of Modi's government, Kashmiris are not normal human beings. They are sort of peace to be eliminated. That is the way that how is treating Muslims in India, the way they are killing. Yesterday, a lot of Muslims are killed so many places. So this atrocities is intensified in a big way in Kashmir. This continues everywhere. So India has failed to win the hearts and minds of Kashmiris, in short. And the bitterness and the atrocity is so much. Kashmiris will never to be with India, even now. Well, so they were telling lies after lies. No United Nations representative, committee, they said, Bertrand Russell said about it. Top people, so many other British top politicians said, when it comes to Kashmir, India is not coming out of hypocrisy. Deception. Repeatedly. I have so many things to quote. You see, they are all fed up. United Nations are fed up because now, for example, when Pakistan agrees to plebiscite, India says no. Get Azad Kashmir people to remove the forces. Then we will agree. Like that, they were laying condition. So now this came to a stage now, the culmination of this discrimination, you can say, is the abolition of Article 370. That is annexing India. Kashmir is India, and 35A allowing the Indians from other states to settle down there. For them, they are given jobs, they are protection, everything. And mainly Kashmiri Pandits are allowed to go there. But now most of them, they want to get back because when you go and settle down there, you should be able to live in a peaceful place in peaceful way. But if there's no peace, if there's no security, where life is always a threat, they can't stay. So Kashmiri Pandits who were taken after 370 was abolished, are getting now wanting to get back to their own lands here.
Struggle in Kashmir.
Yeah.
In Kashmir continue more than 75 years. I am thinking there are two type of struggle. One is freedom fighters, and also there are people who involved in the politics, and they were thinking, and we can get back our rights and everything. And those two parties, freedom fighters one side, another political parties, are they achieving anything for the betterment of Kashmiri?
You see, there is a group of people, they come to the conclusion from their bitter experience that you just can't live with Indians. So they think the best solution is for Kashmir is to either join Pakistan or separate from India. Then another group like Sheikh Mehbooba, and even Omar Abdullah, they all wanted to live in peace with Kashmir. So they join hand with with Indian party, even BJP people, BJP. But you see, they betrayed. So when you see now Sheikh Abdullah supported Nehru betrayed here. Now Mehbooba Mufti, that she was with the BJP party, and that she was part of that system, and they want to live in peace. But what did they do? Article 370 and 35A. So as a result, no Kashmiri who can trust an Indian politician, whether Congress or whether BJP, RSS. In the meantime, RSS program is also there. They have an own agenda to turn this India into a Hindu Raj. Hindutva. This is nothing but daydream. How can you eliminate the entire about 250 million or 300 million Muslims, Christians, Dalit? Dalit, the Hindus don't consider Dalit. They are another group, discarded group, discarded by the community. So it is very difficult for Kashmiris to live with the Indian government, live with India. The Indian governments, successive governments, throughout both Congress and BJP or whatever it may be, they created the situation. And that is still continuing.
Yeah. Another question is international media. Normally, in the past, we can come across Kashmir issue time to time, but nowadays we can't find any news about Kashmiri issue, especially Indian illegal occupied Jammu Kashmir. We couldn't find anything in the international media. Do you agree with me, or there are?
100%, 100% I agree with you, because now, for example, I wrote an article about this abolition of 370. On the 4th of this very day before yesterday, I sent to all our newspapers in Sri Lanka, all the English papers. No paper carried. No paper carried. But I did circulate this article among top intellectuals who matter in these things here. So that is the but moreover, Indian papers also they didn't publish. Indian paper by blackmail, bribery, and trying to stop advertisement in various ways, now brought under the control of BJP government indirectly. Although still, some independent journalists, they do write, but Indian media in general is saffronized. They are forced to be with India, with BJP. They are forced not to criticize BJP government, Modi government. So this continue. But the people know. Indian people, they are highly intellectual, educated people. Don't discard all the Hindus. Some of the Hindus they are defending Kashmir rights more than the Muslims. There are so many good Hindus, reasonable Hindus. They are Hindus who follow Hinduism. The RSS Hinduism is not Hinduism, that is fascism. So those Hindus are there, they are writing it here. But now, you see, this fascist RSS is in power. BJP is the front of is in power. So they control the whole. I think by the last 8 years, they already filled the entire administration, army, navy, air force, police, everything with BJP cadres. So that's what the thing happened here. So now it is in this atmosphere. Now the world, now see, in the Middle East, no country is willing to raise Kashmir issue. So instead of taking up and supporting Kashmir issues, now Abu Dhabi ruler is giving 200 sovereign garland to Modi. So see, they all abandoned. Saudi Arabia should take up this case here. They would abandon Kashmir issue, like they abandoned Palestine. But in the meantime, there is one more thing, brother, you should know. India, as I said, had established close ties with Israel. In Israel, about 100 years ago, only 4% of the 4% Jews. Rest 96% were Christians and Muslims. Today, they set up nearly 5 million Jews, more than 5 million Jews, set up a state also. This is what India wants to do it. And the system adapted in suppressing the Kashmiris, trying to kick them out, is the same system adapted in by the Zionist Jews throughout the past 80 to 90 years. So the atrocities continue now. You see this various daily killings.
Yeah, I would like to ask the question, but you answered, because already we witnessed the international media is silent, mute regarding the Kashmiri issue. And what about the Muslim countries, especially international Muslim organization countries? And you mentioned also that one. And finally, I want to come back to this one. What are the implications of developments in illegally Indian occupied Jammu Kashmir and the peace and stability in the region and in the Kashmir? And is there any guarantee in the future?
The region, peace in the region can be guaranteed if you can guarantee peace and human rights in Kashmir. Because Kashmir issue, the more the India brutalizes and oppress the Kashmiris, the more they are going to sacrifice, the more they will come out fight. The number of, graveyards, unknown graveyards, the number of people killed, the hundreds of thousands of women raped. So all those things are there. People are watching. They can't do their routine work. Children can't go to school properly. And you can't do your job properly. They're farmers. And, Indian troops, they were given freedom to do anything and everything. So in this environment, you see, more and more come. And so long this issue remains alive, the tension between Pakistan and India will continue to be on higher level. That's it. And without peace in India and Pakistan between the two countries, lot of obstacles will be there for the region to move ahead. If the two countries get together, sort it out and get together, the time, resources wasted on these issues, they can use for developing the people, country and help the raise the standard of the people. So amount of money India is investing in armaments, but they have a now ambitious, very ambitious program to greater India. Like Israel is planning to have a great Israel, taking part of Jordan, taking part of Saudi Arabia, taking part of Syria, and taking part of Egypt. Like that, BJP wants from this Afghanistan. They say from Afghanistan to Thailand, that is greater India. So
Okay.
it comes. Pakistan also comes under that. So with a country with an ambition or with a target to absorb other countries into it, will not be accepted by anyone in the region. That's what's happening now.
Yeah. India, known as the biggest democracy of the world, and they are not respecting human rights. They are not respecting the Muslims, and it is well known. Why still this democracy is not functioning in India properly?
Indian democracy over the years has become a religious democracy, racist democracy. It is not a democracy in the context of the real democracy. Well, I don't find real democracy anywhere in the world here. But Indian democracy, India is, of course, the largest democratic country in the world in the 1947. But over the years, when the minority rights were crushed, attack on, demolition of Ayodhya mosque, and incidents like this, it has become a majority rule, minority suppressed. So you can never call now India a democracy. It's a one-party rule, fascist rule here. Muslims are attacked on the road, attacked on the shops, Muslim buildings are demolished now, like the way Israelis are doing it, demolished. They just come in the night. Now recently, I don't know, in Hyderabad, some Uttar Pradesh, so 500 or 5,000 police were surrounded. People are cordoned off and not allowed to come in. A huge mosque was demolished. Mosque. For 300-400-year-old mosque. So what is democracy? There is no democracy in India. Democracy is fast fading out
Yeah.
in India.
And, today we are talking about Kashmir. And what is the solution for Kashmir, in your opinion?
Allow the Kashmir to decide their destiny. That is democracy. Allow the Kashmiris, as it was agreed by Nehru and it was promised by India and Nehru in the United Nations and all international forum, well, we will have a plebiscite to decide their destiny. Allow that to do that here. Allow that to happen here. So, if given the chance, it was pointed out already in the Security Council that India doesn't have confidence that Kashmiris will vote to remain with India. They know that. The moment you given the chance, they will either opt to stay alone, be independent, or join Pakistan.
Okay.
Living
And the
alone.
final question. You mentioned you wrote to many news outlets in Sri Lanka and also international outlets.
Yeah,
They are
yeah.
speaking,
Yeah.
they don't want to publicize your article. What do you want to achieve from this article? What do you achieve even from this discussion? What do you want to achieve?
You see, what we want to achieve is one thing. Let the people know the truth. You see, when the people do not know the truth, and then what happened? The country which is committing crime is allowed to continue, like in the case of Israel. Israel is not projected in the way Israel should be projected. His crime record now, you see that Ayman al-Zawahiri was killed by America last Sunday. Why? He's a terrorist. He comes from a very rich background. His father, university vice chancellors, professors, lecturers, his family, and he himself, and he was hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder with America when they were fighting Afghanistan, Soviet Union in Afghanistan. But during the occupation, during the Soviet occupation in Afghanistan, they trained. America CIA trained Al Qaeda. CIA trained, equipped them, got them to fight. And when the fight was over, for actually, you asked a good question here. fight was over, and now Al Qaeda, Osama bin Laden, Zawahiri, and them said, okay, now fight. We have chased out Soviet Union from Afghanistan. Now it's get back. Time for you people to get back from the region that they don't want to do. The moment they said, the America, Britain, France, and Israel should get back from the region, Al Qaeda became demons, and Osama bin Laden became terrorists. They make and unmake in the media. That's what I say. The media's power. This is the reason why I said in the media should be used to tell the truth. Now, how many Sri Lankans, how many in Sri Lanka know what's happening in India? They do not know. Even the atrocities unleashed by Modi's government against Muslims, against Christians, against Dalit in India is not known yet. Yeah, the media is blind. They don't want to publish anything. I don't know why the reason, they were, but India, of course, but other countries, some independent media, they do publish because they want the world to know the truth. Now, I am writing, why? I want the people to know the truth. But I'm happy at least some people, they take my articles, they circulate among other people. It's happening in Canada, it's happening in UK, it's happening in Middle East, in Sri Lanka, Far East. They distribute it so that people know. Muslims need to know what's happening to them. The biggest problem in the Muslim world is they do not know the conspiracy against them. So people like Ayman al-Zawahiri, Osama bin Laden, speak about it, they're terrorists. Kill them. You see? India, America killed 1 million Muslims in Iraq. 1 million. For no reason. Iraqis. Libya, they destroyed. Syria, they destroyed. More than 30 million in Libyan, Syrians, Iraqis in refugee camps. They're sinking. There's a refugee camp suffering. But do they speak about it? No. You speak about that, you're a bad person. You should be an obedient servant like Saudi ruler, Gulf sheikhs, Egyptian ruler, Al-Sisi, like that. Don't pay any attention to Israeli terrorism. Just take the pittance we give, 3 billion, 4 billion we give, and because that is the very reason why people like me and others write these articles. Why we waste time writing that?
Yeah, finally, I want to compare one of the things happened in the history, and East Pakistan and West Pakistan. East Pakistan is Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Bangladesh got independent finally from West Pakistan. That is Pakistan. So it happened very quickly. Why Kashmir is more than 75 years can't have the independence from India?
You see, East Pakistan and West Pakistan as one country is a bit tricky thing, very artificial things. It's not possible here. They are one religion, of course. They are Muslims. It's Muslim, okay. But two different. They are Punjabis, Sindhis, and Baluchism. Here they are Bengalis. Here, Bengali, they are very fond of their language here. They are hardworking people here. But also, India decided to divide and dismantle Pakistan from the day it was partitioned in 1947. So they were planning, working towards it. And the blunders committed by West Pakistan paved the way for the Indians to enter the scene and divide the country.
Shall I say this way? Whatever India decides, it is happening in the international arena also. Because India doesn't want Kashmir to be independent. So it is remain attached to India because India doesn't want. That means the international organization also supporting India rather than Kashmiris.
Of course, and now it is in favor of India. But I don't know how long this will continue because the people are suffering for a long time and they suffer, still suffering. And the atrocities, there's no country in the world, which brutalized the people and kept them under their control forever. This is possible here. If India has been nice to Kashmiris, today there is no problem between Kashmiris and Indians here. If from the beginning, from 1947, if India has given some confidence, and you see, of course, Kashmiris, they said, oh, we live together. They stretched a hand of friendship to India. But India did not accept. India accepted, but did not accept genuinely. Yeah. But India thought always by suppressing, crushing, that is not the problem. You see. So now Kashmir as a whole has lost confidence and trust in India. They will see the rate.
Yeah, finally, I would like to ask, what is the message to true loving people of the world? What is your message
My
regarding
message is everybody should support. Now we see in America, in Britain, and other countries, Kashmiris and others, they are living in those countries. They are holding meetings, protest meeting, going to media, publishing articles. You see, you asked a question earlier also. Why we go to the media? We want to know the people to know the truth. See, the truth is hidden. The true face of America, the true face of Britain, true face of the France is not known, and the true face of Israel is not known. Israel's atrocities are only second to German Nazis here. You see what even now look yesterday last night what happened? They just bombed and killed 12 people. Those 12 people are human beings. One is 5-year-old child, 5-year-old child. So they have a right to live. And who is condemning? Nobody will take anything. Now see that the German Palestinian journalist was killed. America says now it was mistakenly killed. Why can't you openly say it's just a killing? They don't say, but they are hand in glove. America wants Israel to be its proxy to destabilize the place. And Israel wants America to support for it to expand its empire in the region. Same thing happens. So now the international forces are, the international situation is not in favor of Kashmir now. But they will continue. They will continue, but they are fighting for their rights. Worldwide, people will support. Respectable people's dignity, people believe in human rights, people believe in human dignity, rights, and privileges. They will continue to support Kashmir. And in knowledgeable people, whether Hindus or Christians or Muslims, whoever, they know what is right and what is wrong. So they will support the right. So this situation will continue for a long time. How long India can continue to rule like this? Modi's government, India, if you ask me, it doesn't need enemies. Modi and RSS are doing a very good job. They are destabilizing the whole India by buying billions and billions of dollars of arms. They want to create India. But see the pathetic plight of the poverty-stricken millions. Poverty-stricken. No house, no food, no toilet, no water. So that, are they thinking about it? The media doesn't write about it. Now
okay,
BJP has got around the Indian media, they don't highlight that here.
last, I would like to thank for your coming and discussing the 5th of August 2019 at the abolition of Article 370. And this is very
Yeah.
important, as you mentioned. And many media, they don't want to talk about it. And you raise the voice, and it will reach the community. Those people who are loving the truth all over the world, they will follow the truth. Jazakumullah khairan once again, inshallah.
Finally, truth will triumph.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Okay, once again,
I only wish the day comes a good government come in India, and the whole communities can get together and they can move in much. India has great potential. It's a great country, not a small. It's a great country, and this the racism and violence and all that destroy the country. It's a rich country. Is there any country like that? There's so many languages, so many races. You see, who dislike India?
yeah,
Yeah?
we
It's
hope
such a
the
nice
best.
country.
Yeah, we hope the best, and also we will pray for the
Someday,
people.
hope not during our time, maybe after one or two other generations, this might come here. Yeah. This
Yes.
situation in India, tragic situation is brought about by politicians.
Yeah, thank you very much again. Indian abolition of Article 370 in the Constitution was illegal, and it was done 3 years ago. But unfortunately, many people, they forgot after 3 years. And you remembered, you talked, and your voice is recorded, and your voice is raised against the tyranny again for the people who oppress. Jazakumullahu khairan once again. We will see you in another program. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you for entertaining me. Thanks.